Yeah, so
Let me not play that.
yeah. So video time. Gentleman on one of the YouTubers, and again I don't use anybody's name, nothing bad. They got a little curious on why their steering wheel buttons on 97 to 2004, 97 to 04 Buick Regal. I'm assuming it's a Regal. So here's what I use to get the steering wheel controls to work, and this is basically, we're going to talk about the two units that you guys can use. That guy right there. So that's what we use for my son's car. There's my son.
Hello.
So we're going to demonstrate quite a few features that we ended up doing for his vehicle. Let me get into this. So when you open up the package is going to come with instructions. See if the instructions are in there.
I even opened this.
Ah! Yeah, so it slides out, and then this side opens up. I don't remember if I put the instructions back.
No.
No. Not in the package either? Nope.
No.
Okay, so that squanders that. But in the instructions, and it's very detailed, I will give it that. So usually when you get a product and some of the details are left out, it tells you to download an app, and you do year, make, and model, and it tells you what the sense wire is for this one. Now, when you go to plug in your aftermarket harness, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, because I did this so long ago, that the sense wire is going to be more towards the driver's side on that harness. So when you plug your aftermarket harness, I believe it's empty. So what we ended up doing was depinning one of the wires, and I believe it was a blue wire that we ended up depinning because it wasn't doing anything. We depinned it and moved it over to the sense wire and then attached the sense wire to it. So there's 4 wires. You're going to have your sense wire, accessory, which is your ignition, power, and ground. So those are the 4 wires you're going to end up using. So, and then the program procedure as follows. So I will go on ahead and let's go over the functions real quick. So, yeah, no, because then YouTube starts to fucking cry and shit.
No, just don't own the copyrights to any of the music that's played.
Okay.
So they can't say anything now. I have volume up, volume down.
Okay, mute. Source.
Which gives you
all your sources. Okay. Now go back to FM.
Which one was that?
Tuner. Okay. And then go ahead and then use your left hand side.
I want to say this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to move the channels up and down. Okay. I know it's a little hard to tell, but I mean...
Here, hold on.
You can't. So go to the last one. Go down.
What do you mean down?
Down. There you go. Okay, and now use the other buttons.
Same thing.
Okay, and that's going to give you your AM and FM, that preset. So that's how we ended up doing it. So what I need you to do is step on the brake, because you don't have an e-brake.
About that?
Yeah. There's the reverse camera.
Oh.
That was the other thing that we ended up doing. So also too, just so that you guys know, and I'll move in closer, that radio is factory OEM flush. I mean, it is in there.
Hold on. There.
Again, I dabbled into this. Last time I installed was like maybe about 20-25 years ago. I've always been finicky on how to install radios. So this is a this is a single DIN chassis with a double DIN base, which gave us a lot of wiggle room up underneath the radio to stick other wiring and the module and things of that nature in the RCAs. Everything's been ran through here. Okay. And before I forget, so that was the PacAudio Control Pro 2. The issue that he's having is that, pendejo, he goes, I can't get the other ones to program. It's because it's the Axxess. What I never got a chance to talk about, and I'm glad he brought it up, of why he can't do what he's doing and why I'm able to do what I'm able to do, it's not because he's doing something wrong, it's because of that unit. Now, in Marcine's car, which is the gray Regal that we were working on, he already had bought the parts when we first met. He just needed it installed. He had the Axxess. Now, again, the Axxess isn't too bad. I believe one of the buttons we could not get to program, and it didn't do anything. The problem with the Axxess is that you have, unless you have a laptop where you can kind of bounce back and forth in the car and get it all programmed, I unfortunately had to run downstairs to the basement, take it, program it, back and forth, back and forth. It was a pain in the ass. With the Control Pro 2, you do everything here. You get everything, and it tells you how to put it in program mode, and then you program everything accordingly per the instructions, and you do everything here, and it is spot on, very easy to use. So again, if you guys are having issues and you're like, well, why the hell isn't this working? It's because of the Axxess. Again, Axxess is not a bad product. It's just, unless you have certain access to certain software, things of that nature, we as regular customers, we're limited to whatever it is that we can go on ahead and program on that module. So that's why you're probably having issues with what you're having. So if you have the Axxess, you're going to be very limited on your button controls. You'll get most of them to work, but you won't get all of them to work like this one. Again, PacAudio SW, I'm going to assume SWI CP2 Control Pro 2. Again, if you go look at your make and model, it'll pop right up on PacAudio's website. We ended up getting that one over at ABT, I believe. That was about like 70 or 80 bucks. Again, a few years ago. So that covers the issue with this. I'm now going to take you to the back because you guys saw the backup camera. Take you to the back. There's the backup camera. It is waterproof. We did silicone up on top. Be very careful when you guys go on ahead and wash up your cars because of this. These are open. This will literally get into your trunk lid and wet everything. So be very careful on that. That will literally get inside. It'll damage the camera. We came real close to damaging this fucker, which is why I ended up removing it and putting some silicone on it. So when we ran it, you will not see where it's ran to. Not one bit. And again, you'll probably see the zip ties and be like, okay, yeah, I kind of get where you're going with this. Now, OEM loom. So we ended up using large pick tools, separating this, getting the orifice to open with a little bit of lithium grease. Because there's a little, I'm going to say like module, like a connector that needs to squeeze through here. So we expanded it there. We expanded it here, opened all this up, snaked it through, and then retested it with the high temp, which is basically exterior tape, and then basically used the original mount. It had zip ties on it, so all I did was just replace the zip ties, but again, factory finish. And then it's ran through here along with another wire loom, and then it is physically running. It's a little hard to tell, the camera is picking it up, but it is running through that by that loom and into that channel, and it goes all the way to the other side, and it comes back down. It comes back down, traces the seat, and then traces the driver's side panel. So figured I'd give you a little bit of extra. Me and my son did this, so we spent a good day. I spent about a good day. I don't know exactly how many, couple hours, maybe a few hours on it, just to go on ahead, take it, refine it. We were being real careful. These are very old cars. The last thing you want to do is break a part or break a panel and not be able to replace it. So, but if you guys are having issues, and I'm going to assume regardless of the Regal platform, I don't say W body platform, if you got the steering wheel controls and you're like, what the hell's going on? Well, that might be your problem. Again, might be your problem. So again, my experience was two different experiences, one with the Axxess and one with the PacAudio. Night and day difference. Night and day difference. I got all the buttons to work on my son's car. I was not able to get one control on the Axxess. And it was a little bit of a pain in the ass, bouncing back and forth, trying to get it to program, trying to figure it all out, versus the PacAudio. They tell you this is how you get it to be in program mode. And as you read it first, okay, you read it first and go, okay, read it a couple of times. All right, cool. It's in program mode. Do this. Did it. And then it tells you to test. Boom. And then it did it. And then we started going button by button by button and got everything programmed. And again, PacAudio. Not sponsored by PacAudio. You guys need the help. I'm offering it. So my apologies to the YouTuber. I did tell him to give me some time. Unfortunately, it's just the traveling to and from work. So I have traffic control. In case if you guys are wondering, what the fuck you mean traffic control? Do me a favor, grab that. So here you go. That's, yep, the guy in the construction zone, and he's turning that to slow to stop. Yeah, so that's what I do for a living. So you'd be like, oh, you're the jag outfit who does this. Yes, but when I do it, I make sure that I take care of my motorists and make sure that they, you know, need to get to where they need to get to and make sure everybody is safe. So my boss goes on ahead and they're like, hey, I need you to do me a favor. I'm one of her top tier flaggers. So she sends me out. When she sends me out, it's no questions asked policy that I take care of her. So needless to say that whole distance, I can be anywhere between, I'm going to say 20 minutes from home all the way up to 2 hours from home. So to the YouTuber, I apologize for the long delay. Brother, I'm just tired. So today was it. We're having garage day. We're trying to go on ahead and get some things done.
I would just...
Yeah, so that's how...
Yeah.
That's
usually how
so we're doing the video on this, and we're touching up some things on this as we go along. So there was a couple of little knickknacks here and there that were some issues. We went to the junkyard, and to our surprise, there was an SHO there, and found exactly what we need. So today's garage day, we're actually working on that. And he's like, let's do the video. Huh? Well enough. So that's what we're doing.
You got it paused?
What's up? I don't have it on pause.
Oh, you don't?
No, go ahead. What?
Here's what I was showing you. About it cleaning up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because it had that marker on there, so I just took the marker off, and I was like,
yeah,
it cleaned up. So
it don't take much. It don't take much. And then the solution that you could be using is this. This is for fiberglass.
Oh, I use that.
You got to be careful with that one. That one's rubbing compound.
Oh.
So, but if it did it, it did it.
Yeah,
but yeah, he was just showing me he was taking a scuff mark off, and he was worried that he had to replace the whole thing, but we don't have to. So that's your tidbit. If you guys got any concerns, any comments about what I missed, let me know. This gentleman was very curious. He's like, I can't get my buttons to work. He goes, what did you do? So fortunate enough for me, I ended up with 2 different Regals that I did the radios on, and 2 different situations using Axxess and again, the PacAudio. Oh, so before I forget, so he does have the monsoon system in this red car. What Marcin was told is that you can't put an aftermarket head unit on there and that you would have to rewire the whole car. That is a complete myth. We have the monsoon system in there. So, and it does work.
Sounds pretty good too.
And
for
you
stock
are talking,
audio. Yeah.
So I'll tell you this, for stock audio, holy shit, is it a night and day difference when you go on ahead and put an aftermarket in there. It is a night and day difference. So you'd be like, man, is there going to be a difference? Man, this thing is going to be loud. Bullshit, you're not. Is it going to sound like a 2001 system? No. But you're going to hear a significant difference. We ended up doing the Sony. I believe his is the XAV1000. We ended up doing that one. Again, per certain situations, this radio had the features that we were looking for. I believe Marcin's was like the 1500. And you'll notice the difference because the 1500, I believe the 1500, the button controls are on the bottom. Again, really nice radio, same style, single DIN chassis with a double DIN head unit. And we ended up getting his flush mount. The only thing that made it look a little funny is because the bottom buttons actually stick out. But again, it was still flush. And it got to the point where it was very close to that edge that you guys saw, where the lip comes out on the bezel. But yeah, it was a night and day difference. So, but it does work with the monsoon system. So should you guys be in a position to be like, okay, well, I need another amp, just take everything color to color, take it, solder it in. I don't like crimps, but if that's what you guys only have, that's fine. If you're not really good at soldering, use a crimp. What you want to do is basically stagger everything, because if not, you're going to have a big bulk of cabling with butt connectors. So that's why I like going on ahead and soldering, because it minimizes on the bulk. So other than that, I think I got pretty much everything. The buttons, the Axxess, PacAudio, control module, reverse camera, and yes, it does work with the monsoon system. And we haven't gotten to the point where we're replacing the speakers yet. We did it on Marcine's, but again, aftermarket, we ran a 4-channel, so all of that literally got rewired. I was not going to use the wiring that was pre-existing in the vehicle. So, but that one got completely rewired. Other than that, I hope I got everything spot on for you guys. I hope this helps. Feel free to comment. If I missed something, I missed something. If not, then just let me know. All right, holla at your boy.